I have a clicker. Oh, and it was clicking. She stepped to the mic, and in a room with over 750 people looking at her, she began to cry. But the tears weren't that of fear. In fact, it was released fear and realization that in that room, she was actually more than enough. That was me, October 29th, at the Women's Executive Network, staring out at an ocean of a powerful, impressive, influential collection of beings, and in one of my most vulnerable moments, feeling incredibly powerful. Have you ever felt like you weren't enough? Raise your hand that you didn't belong. Some of you lying. I certainly have. And leading up to that event, I was filled with so much anxiety. And what I've come to unpack is that there are rooms, such as that one, where there aren't many in the room that share my intersectionality, and somehow I still wonder, am I enough? For context, that room is, the attendees are from some of the biggest companies in Canada, the big financial institutions, the big consulting companies, and they're paying upwards of $10,000 for a table. So by society standards, the basis and the construct of that room, for many that look like me and share my intersectionality, we don't often feel that it's designed for us. And so leading up to that event, I had all this angst, but I said, okay, let me focus on what I can control. And so I rehearsed my script, I made it my own, I actually went and got a dress made, I got my hair done, I got some kicks, fancy kicks to wear, I got a videographer and a photographer to document the experience, and I prayed. I showed up at the event and had an opportunity to step into the room, similar to what I actually did today. And I took in the room, all mic'd up, and I started to rehearse my script as if I was live. And I imagined that room full of people, and I imagined all of them energized because of me. And then the event began, and I was on. And what I imagined and visualized manifested. Yet, in between the hosting, I still felt like something was missing. And then Princess Sarah Culberson, the keynote for that night, if you don't know her, check her out. She's the Princess of Sierra Leone. She got up to deliver her keynote. And as she started to speak, I was instantly riveted. And for 21 minutes, I sat there and recorded her right out in the front, and I was taking it all in. And she got to this part where she started to talk about fear, how we feel fear, and even though we feel fear, it's incumbent on all of us to push through the fear and shine. And it immediately brought me back to this book, A Return to Love. Hands up, has anybody read A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson? No one? It's an amazing book. And that book kickstarted my personal development journey in 2014. That book taught me about power. That power is from within. And that all of our experiences, every single experience that we have in our lives, as traumatic, as amazing, as indifferent that they may be, they all matter, but we are best served and most empowered when we have the perspective from a place of love for those experiences. And at that time, I did this work to actually excavate some of my experiences that had been most traumatic in my life, like being bullied and the things that had deposited pain and shame and frustration and rage, and ripped them all out of me and exposed them to light. Light, for me, was paid therapy. But through therapy, I learned about how to leverage those experiences and then insert them back into me and allow them to empower me from a place of love. So that evening, I was really reminded about how powerful I am, just in that moment, just as I was recording her. I was like, yeah, I am powerful. So what's going on? Because power is from within us. It's not of us. It's not because of the rooms we're in. It's not because of the people we know. And it's definitely not because of the things we do. It is because of who we are true and through. And so I was getting ready to go back on stage for one more time to thank her and to also close off my hosting duties. And I remember something that I will share with you right now. If you really knew me, you would know that my name is Nkechi Nwafor, which means in Igbo, Nigeria, is God's gift. And so I knew that just my presence that evening was enough. I also knew this. In full Nkechi, I'm going off script. Probably off script right now, but I'm going off script that night. And so I remember stepping back on the stage, waiting for the standing ovation to die down, and then she started to walk towards me, and I opened up my arms, and we took her in a big embrace, and I said to her, "Thank you for pouring into my life." And then I stepped back up to the mic, and looking out at an ocean of powerful, impressive, and influential beings full of emotion, I said, our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, I ask you, who are you not to be? You were born to shine. And when you allow yourself to shine, you unconsciously give permission to others to do the same. And when you're liberated from your fear, your mere presence automatically liberates others. And then I went on to share that I was afraid, and that my fear that night was that I wasn't going to be enough for them. But I knew that I was going to show up. And in that moment, as I looked out and I can feel everyone supporting me, I felt so infinitely powerful. And I knew in that moment that I had them, that they were tuned to me and my energy. Because if you really knew me, you would know that my energy is boundless. It identifies me. Its power opens up doors in places such as this and invites me in. And its currency then affords me the opportunity to share my truth and then leave you to figure out what to do with it. But that hasn't always been the case. And that evening, I knew that it was so important for me on that platform, in a room where many do not share my intersectionality, to use it as a way to showcase, even through my fear, what is possible, not for me, but for those coming up behind me, and to also allow those in the room to open up the door wider so there are more people that look like me can come through. And so today, as I start to think about why Miriam invited me here to just talk about the mindset of a trailblazer, I did want to share that I am a trailblazer. I often look at rooms and opportunities, and if the space has many that look like me, I recognize that that's for somebody else's job. So I go into those rooms and trailblaze the spaces where there aren't many people that look like me, so that there is an opportunity for me to open up the door wider for others to come through. And that takes me having a mindset, a daily disruptive mindset, to break the norms and the standards of the rooms that I occupy, to actually show what's possible. And so today I'm going to just quickly take you through strategies. I call them my curriculum of a disruptive mindset of a trailblazer. And so the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is really to disrupt your mind means that there might be things I say that you're going to fight against in this moment, but just for now. And for the rest of the day, as you take in other speakers, just allow your mind to just receive. You don't have to ingest it yet, but receive. Don't fight against it in this moment. That's how you will allow more things into your toolkit today that will serve you best. So the first thing I want to talk about is problems. Before I could conquer this thing in my brain, because let me tell you something, I don't know about you, but there's gunshots going off in my brain all the time. Our mind is a battleground. It's where the most amount of conflict happens. I had to master my mind. And once I started to master my mind and rewire it and reconfigure it, I needed daily strategies and habits to be able to enable me. And one of the most powerful things I realized that allowed me to embrace these is that I recognized that anything that came my way, any problem, I was bigger than it. I have so much evidence that I have taken more out of adversity than adversity has taken out of me. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here standing here in front of you. And I don't believe that's only true for me, but it's true for every single person in this room. Otherwise, you also wouldn't be here. So I don't know what you've gone through or what you're going through, but you have a 100% success rate for the main fact that we're all here today present with each other. So the first step in this amazing curriculum that I'm sharing is I am convinced. Convinced about what? About who I am. And if you're not convinced about who you are, guess what? You will be compromised. And so every single day before I step out of my house, I have to look at myself. I step up to the mirror, and anyone in this room can do it because I'm pretty sure first thing in the morning, the first thing you're doing is brushing your teeth. And so you're standing in front of a mirror, and I will look at myself, and I start to tell myself, I am amazing, I am beautiful, I'm born to win, I'm designed for accomplishment, I'm engineered for success, I'm endowed with the seeds of greatness, I am creative, I'm innovative, I'm industrious, I'm enterprising, I'm a place from where the infinite expresses. I create amazing experiences for myself and others. I recognize and release the joy and laughter from within me. My life is magnetic, my joy is contagious, my passion is irresistible, and when you get me, you get an exceptional human. And then I'm like, now let's go. And I step out into my day. Because the truth is, if you have not prepared yourself, if you've not given the world the language to speak about you, then you run victim to whatever is going to be ascribed on your human. So I will ask everyone here, be convinced about who you are. Forget about beliefs. Beliefs, we'll argue about our beliefs. Conviction, you will fight for your conviction. So that's number one. Be convinced about who you are. Number two is be relentless. 8 billion people in this world. You happen to be the collective of these amazing humans that are going to take in this amazing day. And so, at some point today, you're going to walk out those doors at 250 of this building, and the world is going to hit you. So there's always going to be something that's coming at you. But there's going to be things that you're going to take in today that you're going to want to hold on to. And I'm asking you, friends, amazing humans, hold on to it. Be relentless. There's a great proverb that helps me every single day to stay relentless. It's about the African and the lion and the gazelle. Every day in Africa, a lion gets up and a gazelle gets up. And the lion knows that it has to outrun the slowest gazelle if it's going to eat and survive another day. And the gazelle knows it has to outrun the fastest lion if it's going to survive another day. But the moral of the story is, it doesn't matter if you're a lion. It doesn't matter if you're a gazelle. When the sun gets up, you best be running. And so run your own race. I cannot run my race with your equipment. And so you have to know your race, and you have to allow your race to drive you and fuel you. And another great analogy I'll share is drive is a secondary condition to a primary desire to go somewhere. So know what your race is, and then stay the course. Be relentless. The third one, be patient. I know some of you are like, that's impossible. Pace and patience is a superpower. It's taken me 51 years to be 51 years old. You can't rush the process, trust me. There's no turning back either. But you have to trust it. And one of the things I've learned in my 51 years of life is that there's going to be a lot of no's in this thing called life, yo. So much so that I had to get to a point where the no's weren't impacting me, so I repositioned no to be next opportunity. No equals next opportunity. And here's what I've also learned that I want to share today, is that if you start to think about no's that you've received in your life and you're sitting here today, isn't there a powerful yes? So much so that when I get a no, I'm like, if I got that no, there must be an incredible yes that's coming. So redefine no in your life. Yes, when the no hits, be aware of it, take that moment, but then realize if I got that no, there's an amazing and powerful yes that's coming. That's how you continue to think forward. That's how you continue to trailblaze. You know, trailblazers just have this mindset that they just know that something better is coming for them. So be patient. What's for you will not pass you. That's a little Bible, but And the last one, I think you could actually leverage this one today. It's about being positioned. And as I think about positioning, I think about networking. I think about how are you positioned in this world? And not only is important as to who's in your network, but whose network are you in? I recently got invited into Miriam's network through another amazing human. And so there's something great about being positioned in this network that's landed me this opportunity to be here with you today and share my story. And so I also recognize the value of how that network came to be. And so I also invite you to recognize that networking maybe it's about not being for you, but being the opportunity to be a hub. Wouldn't it be awesome if you were a connector? Right? If your networking was really about opening up opportunities for others. And so for me, the value in my life right now and the networks that I create, and I never waste a network. Could be at the gas station, could be at Sobeys, could be at the airport, could be on a plane, could be anywhere. The value of that person that's sitting beside you, that you just take a moment to say, I see you, I honor you, tell me a little bit more about yourself, being insatiably curious about the person on your right-hand side, reaching out to somebody and just complimenting them, saying, hey, let's get into some dialogue, having 5 ready questions just to start to create a connection with somebody. The value will always be in that one day somebody comes to you and says, I need your help. And you realize that in your own personal being, yourself, you can't help them, but I know somebody that can. So just remember, the networking is never for today, but it's for a moment in the future. So those are the 4 things I'm leaving you with today. Number 1 is be convinced about who you are. Number 2 is about being relentless. Number 3 is about being patient. No means next opportunity. And number 4 is about being positioned. And hopefully you'll use that today. Your network is your net worth. And this opportunity can set you really into the seat of super connector. And so now I'm going to blow your mind with this next exercise because some of you are going to probably resist me when I ask you to do this. But I feel like, as your morning energizer, I have to leave you in that. In fact, Maria backstage encouraged me to do this, right? So I'm going to ask everyone, please, to rise up off your seats. And I share this moment with you, as I already expressed, something that I do every single day. It's taken me a lot of work to even stand on a stage like today and feel confident, but this daily practice is my gift to you today. And the reason why is because at the age of 41, cue music, 2 words came into my life. You matter. And I learned that from these 2 words, if I'm the only person in my day that tells me that I matter, that's actually enough. But it takes time to believe this because there's experiences that will fight against this. There are things that will tell you that that's not possible. But I'm actually here to tell you that you matter and this world needs you to believe that. So I'm going to take you through some self-talk. These are meant to empower you and empower you beyond today. So I'm going to ask you to repeat after me. I am brilliant. I am powerful. Louder. I'm amazing. I am born to win. I am designed for accomplishment. I am engineered for success. I'm endowed with the seeds of greatness. I'm industrious. I am enterprising. I am creative. I am innovative. I am a place from where the infinite expresses. I create amazing experiences for myself and others. I recognize and release the joy and laughter from within me. My life is magnetic. My joy is contagious. My passion is irresistible. And when you get me, point to yourself, when you get me, you get an exceptional human trailblazing. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy your day.